5 months of misery was Gary Megson's description of his ill-fated move to Nottingham Forest. And it was his goal against them on Sunday that earned Newcastle their replay tonight. Jack Charlton has sprung a surprise in his team selection. Even though Glenn Roeder, his captain, is now fit again, Charlton retains Sunday's back four, a vote of confidence in central defenders John Anderson and Jeff Clark. Peter Beardsley is looking sharp again. He got a hat-trick in his last match here. His partner up front, Chris Waddle, whose first England cap is surely not far away. Well, Forest have failed to progress beyond the third round in each of the past 3 years now. Their side tonight is also the same as Sunday. Brian Clough can still find no room for either Paul Hart or Kenny Swain at the back, preferring instead the inexperienced full-back pairing of Jim McInally and Alan Davidson. Swain, though, takes over at substitute from Colin Walsh. A raw night for brave hearts, and keeping charge tonight, Joe Worrell of Warrington. Newcastle then in their familiar stripes, kicking off from right to left. The pitch is certainly playable, boggy in parts, and there could be problems later on if the ground freezes. Jack Charlton himself was on the pitch helping to sweep off the snow this morning. He thinks it's playable, and so does Brian Clough. His verdict was perfect, young man, and thank you for asking. Here's Beardsley. Certainly an intriguing fixture between these two sides. They both felt they did enough to have won the first match. McInally with the throw. Wharton finding Beardsley. Off goes Waddle. Pursued by Gunn. Good tackle then by the Forest defender. He had to reckon on Pat Hurd. Wharton, who was onside. And off Hodge. And a corner. A spirited opening here by Newcastle. Kenny Wharton very much involved, captaining Newcastle tonight in the absence of Roeder. Gary Megson with the corner. Plenty of fight in there with Brown and Waddle. Megson for the second chance to cross it in. Hodge. Shot was that beaten away. Shot was from Clark. Beardsley driving it in. A fierce assault here in the opening minutes by Newcastle. And eased there by Wigley. Davenport for Forest. Now for Hodge. This is young McInally. Christie who made the run. Clark who came across. Been quite outstanding, Clark, in the last 2 matches since regaining his place in the side. Keeping out Roeder tonight. Here's Brown. Clough underneath it. Beardsley spreading the play well. Here's Waddle. Always danger when this man is in possession. Hurd at the far post. And Forest here holding on to survive. Under tremendous pressure here from Newcastle. It's marvellous following behind them, of course. Another big crowd here at St James's tonight. Megson. This is Hurd. Off. Clark again arriving. It's twice at the opening minutes. Jeff Clark has thundered into the area. Unfortunately there for Sagers, the shot was straight at him. The Forest will be asking questions about themselves there. Fairclough, oh, we haven't seen Beardsley. Sagers somehow away, and it's a penalty. There's a handball in the area there, Wharton shot. Furious action in the penalty area. Dreadful mistake by Fairclough. Beardsley away there, squaring the ball. There was the handball. And a penalty for Newcastle. Beardsley will take. He scored from the penalty spot. in the derby match against Sunderland, but missed one as well. Sagers has saved it. He guessed right. Over the line for a corner, but Sagers went the right way. Well, he's a very erratic goalkeeper, but he certainly did the right thing there. Beardsley didn't strike it cleanly. And a marvellous opportunity has been squandered. Mixon with the corner. Crowd still digesting that miss by Beardsley. Here he is again. It's certainly all Newcastle in the opening minutes. Brown's cross in. Waddle down. Forrest again scrambling to get it away, and it's in this time. Waddle's got it. Oh, what a dramatic opening for this cup replay. Waddle the scorer. And Newcastle have taken the lead. A penalty missed, but then the chance falling here for Waddle. Took a deflection, and into the corner, Sagers couldn't reach it. 5 minutes gone, and Chris Waddle, with his 14th goal of the season, has put Newcastle in front. Quite amazing scenes here at the start of this replay. Hodge. Chris Waddle almost missed the first game at the City Ground. In fact, he was ruled out on the Saturday, having failed the fitness test. It's Anderson who came across then to cover the run of Christie. Here's Christie again. Hodge couldn't reach it. Away comes McDonald. Certainly so far Newcastle adapting to the conditions more easily than Forest. Waddle. Always an air of expectancy around the ground when he's in possession. Now Wigley for Forest. Christie finding Medhart. Wharton snapping in quickly. It's Wharton who, in the main, picked up Medhart in the first match at the City Ground. And that may well be a similar ploy tonight, although Jack Charlton wasn't giving anything away beforehand. And he is very aware of the influence that Medhart can have. It's Gunn, storming run from the back. Christie now taking over. And he'll need to do rather better than that to trouble Kevin Carr. Clark making progress into the rather boggy part of the pitch. It's Beardsley. Now for Brown. We've seen plenty of the ball in the game so far. Down that Newcastle right, a straight back pass. Good for the flick. And Forest are in disarray at times here. Davison with the back pass that almost let in Hurd. And he'll feel perhaps he should have made more of that. It really was a dreadful ball back. And Hurd catching it first time straight into the body of Sagers. Seem to have steadied themselves in the last few minutes. Free header for Wigley, but it wasn't a very accurate one. Here's Waddle. Beardsley on a run. It's Medhart who was in the way. Certainly Forest knocking a lot of hopeful balls up front and not really giving too much opportunity to Davenport and Christie. Brunga. Christie. Hodge taking over. He's very quick over the first 4 or 5 yards, Steve Hodge. Medhart. Intelligent pass, finding McInally. Now, can he build something here for Forest? Medhart, to Davenport. There's danger here. Oh, just past the far post. Oh, Peter Davenport has been in splendid form for Nottingham Forest this season. And he was so near then to finding an equaliser. His form the last few matches has been as good as at any stage since he's first worn a Forest shirt. Here's Bowyer, pounded by Megson. Davidson, good ball then finding Christie, finding Davenport rather, and a penalty as Hodge goes down. Well, his progress was certainly halted. The tackle by Megson. There's Davenport turning the ball inside. Hodge sprinting forward and brought down. So what an opportunity here then for Nottingham Forest to haul themselves back into this game. Peter Davenport is their penalty taker. And Kevin Carr in the Newcastle goal has an excellent record at saving penalties. He's got an average of something like 1 in 3 that he's saved in the 8 years he's been a Newcastle goalkeeper. Howley Fair, he's beaten this time, and Peter Davenport has equalised for Nottingham Forest. And Forest are suddenly back in this game. Well, they really hadn't threatened anything until now. And there's Davenport striking it sweetly and cleanly. That's his 13th goal of the season. So, having dominated the first half an hour, Newcastle now find they've got a fight on after all. Free kick to Forest. Quickly. Suddenly it's a different game. Davenport, what a turn. There are a few players in the country who can turn as sharply as this man. Just look there how he was away from Anderson and just past the post. Well, a fascinating first half, controlled early on by Newcastle. Waddle's goal coming just after Beardsley missed the penalty, but then Forest fighting strongly back. Peter Davenport with a penalty that equalised, all of which sets us up for an intriguing second half, and we'll be back right after the break.
Is Lund Polly really giving up to £15 off the cost of an overseas holiday?
Yes.
Do travel agents do that?
Lund Polly does.
Can anybody fly a plane? Oh!
Don't panic, miss. Good job I was drinking Barbican.
Over 100 years ago, James Lofthouse created a product to ease the coughs of Fleetwood trawlermen. This came to be known as the Fisherman's Friend. Original extra strong and aniseed-flavored lozenges. Fisherman's Friend, soothing and effective. The taste sensation.
The world's #1 building society is helping to change the face of saving with Halifax Card Cash. Card cash machines are waiting to serve you 7 days a week, taking only seconds for withdrawals or deposits, issuing mini statements and paying you interest every minute of the day. Card cash is happening now all over Britain. Saving has never been easier. It's a fact that unlike other soluble pain relievers, Aspro Clear dissolves completely to go clear in the glass. And that solubles like Aspro Clear get into the bloodstream faster than solid tablets. But in independent research, what did people think? Nearly 200 families were asked to test Aspro Clear.
A couple of Aspro Clears and Bob's your uncle.
I just think Aspro Clear is really effective, really good.
Aspro Clear, the clear solution.
To go the same distance as one set of Duracell, you'd expect to have to replace ordinary zinc-carbon batteries. But how many times? Twice? Three times. In fact, in this continuous test, Duracell outlasts ordinary batteries over 6 times. Duracell lasts even longer than you thought.
Welcome back to St James's Park as Nottingham Forest start the second half. Now attacking the goal to our left, and who would dare predict the outcome of this one now? Newcastle have this frustrating habit of conceding late and important goals. And Nottingham Forest, well, they're very much the second half specialists. As Aston Villa and Manchester United will both testify. They're both 2 goals up against Forest in recent matches and lost 3-2 as Davidson wins the corner. Corner. No, in fact, leaving it there for Wigley. Christie again stationed on the near post. Carr didn't really come for it positively enough. And over the bar by Christie when he really should have scored. Well, Jack Charlton hasn't been happy about Kevin Carr's goalkeeping. He doesn't feel he comes positively enough. That was certainly the case there, flailing arms everywhere, and Christie really should have put that one away. Red Hard. Here's Saunders. Now Megson. He had his best game, Newcastle's colours at Forest, as you'd expect, I suppose, on Sunday. Brown, walk, good one-touch football. Here's Waddle. Looking to turn, Fairclough. Now walk. Sager's punching it away. It was brave there. But still the danger hasn't passed. Hurd's attempted cross. Here's Beardsley. Now for Hurd again. With Waddle in the middle. And walk at the far post. Medhorn eventually hooking it away. Newcastle coming fiercely now, just as they started the first half. Beardsley heading it down with Waddle. Megson. Did he strike one? Well, it wasn't a bad try then by Gary Megson. So anxious to do well against Forest after such a traumatic period at the City Ground. And there's a shot well wide. Davidson. Davenport. Glorious piece of skill. Still Davenport. Well, the finish wasn't good enough, but the run was splendid. Squirming past defenders. Hit hard. Wigley. Now is something on for Forest here. Davenport. Christie in the middle, and Wigley too. Called the hands by Davenport, not given. Away come Newcastle. This replay continues on its pulsating way. Walk is heard. Beardsley has covered a great deal of ground tonight. So is this man Nixon. Beardsley taking over. Walk. Quickly sidestepping the challenge so neatly. Medhon. Now Whitley on the overlap. Christie's unmarked at the far post. Here's Christie. Away for the corner. And again, Trevor Christie wanted too much time there. A shake of the head tells you how he feels. He really has had a disappointing season for Nottingham Forest. The shot there was blocked away to the corner. Excellent. Hodge with the corner. Fairclough in there. Safe in the arms of Kevin Carr. Fairclough really, apart from that early lapse which led to the penalty, really hasn't put a foot wrong tonight. Bowyer. Davenport, he was onside. Looking to take on Anderson, and he's beaten it too. Still Davenport. Hodge. My word, that was close. Steve Hodge has scored 8 times this season. He's often been on the end of that sort of build-up. Set up there with the pace and control of Davenport. And the shot steered wide. Medhon. On from Christie. Davenport. Now here's Wharton for Newcastle. Still Wharton. His attempted cross is blocked in by Bowyer. He has another chance to cross it in now. The header was over, just tipped over then by Waddle. Sagers did well there to deny Chris Waddle. Wharton with the cross in. And how well Sagers did here, just to tip the ball over the bar. Hurd with the corner. Anderson. Hurd again. It's Wharton in there. Sagers bravely out of his 6-yard area. Tonight, and he's playing for a future too at Nottingham Forest. He's only on loan from PSV Eindhoven. The 90 minutes are up, so little to choose between these two sides. Chris Waddle giving Newcastle the lead, the equaliser from Davenport. As we go now then into extra time. The attendance tonight is 25,166, and that's not bad for a raw and bitterly cold evening. So, tired limbs briefly revived, and on we go for what should be another rousing 30 minutes. Newcastle now attacking the goal to our left. This is Johnny Medhon for Nottingham Forest. I wonder if he featured in this sort of cup tie playing in Holland, and indeed for Real Madrid. Clark, still Davenport. A clear opening then for Peter Davenport. And that really should have given Forest the lead. He squirmed his way through. And then his finishing let him down. Away from Sorton is there, another diving tackle, and what a disastrous finish. Prairie. He's the freshest of them all. They come on a substitute. Waddle with Fairclough. What a confrontation they've had tonight, these two. How encouraging for England's future to see two players of such potential. Waddle and Fairclough. Brown. Clark, Walton arriving in the middle. Nixon, oh, he misses it. Could so easily have been a decisive goal, but Nixon didn't really get hold of it. What a moment that would have been for him if he could have scored the winner against Nottingham Forest of all teams. Got immense pleasure, as you can imagine, from scoring on Sunday. Regards himself as having been a Forest player, as he never actually played in the first team for them. Forest now then have a corner. Orju crossed it, well saved on the line then by Carr. A cluster of players in and around that 6-yard box. Hodge crossed the ball in. Carr staying on his line, bundled towards him. Forest have fought their way back, and at the end of the first period of extra time, the teams are still locked together at a goal apiece. Off then go Forest. McAnally straight away, testing out the Newcastle defence. And here's McCreary. Brent Gunn to Medhorn. And if the teams can't settle it tonight, they're on for a second replay on Monday. Free kick to Forest. Signs are here for Newcastle with Johnny Medhorn around. Bowyer is there too, but Medhorn has produced some spectacular goals from set pieces. Decisive ones too, in those comebacks against Aston Villa and Manchester United, but it's a variation this time. Hodge. Fairclough in there now. Finally, it's whacked away by Mixon. And here's Saunders. Newcastle quickly sprinting onto the attack. Here's Beardsley. Through for Mixon. Now for Walk. Here's Waddle. Drifting past defenders, and the way to goal was blocked. Crowd rising then in expectancy. It's Christie now for Forest. What an absorbing cup tie. Wigley. Davenport. Away comes Anderson. It's a splendid match. McAnally. Been very impressed by him tonight as well. Christie's in the middle. Wigley can find him. Davenport in there too. And Hodge arriving. Here's Christie. Bowyer. Ian Bowyer has given Forest the lead. Well, the man who played so much football up in the northeast here for Sunderland. Has he won this tie now? What a marvellous shot. No chance really there for Kevin Carr. And Ian Bowyer has made it 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. What a moment then for Forest's veteran captain, who shared in so many of their successes over the years. And I wonder now if that goal has inspired a Forest victory here tonight. Christie. Eaten though by Clark, plowing his way forward. Newcastle certainly haven't given this tie up yet. Wharton. 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes for Newcastle to save this game, and for Forest to hold on. Hodge. Beaten though by Beardsley. His progress checked by Davidson. Fairclough. Davenport. Lovely turn. What a ball through the middle too. Christie. Could be all over now. That's the third. And Trevor Christie surely now has won this match for Nottingham Forest. The player back in favour after a spell out of the side, and he's really had a disappointing season at Forest. But this makes up for that, as he scores the goal that surely now takes Forest through. Beardsley, McDonald. Sager's coming forward, punching it away, only as far as Waddle. Somehow it was deflected wide. Bit of disappointment for Chris Waddle. The shot was certainly deflected. Whether he felt there was a handball there or what, I don't know. The shot was struck with such power, it was hard to see if it struck an arm or not. And there'll be no danger there. Fairclough again in strongly. So was Midholt with his header. Christie through on offside against Davenport. The referee allowing the advantage. McDonald. The Forest are now almost there. And a brave, stirring battle from them. And there goes the final whistle. The extra time goals have sealed it then for Forest. Bowyer and Christie to add to the goal from Peter Davenport after Chris Waddle had given Newcastle the lead. And it's Forest then who go through to play Wimbledon in the fourth round, the side that knocked them out of the Milk Cup last season. What an intriguing game that should be. But for the moment, it's joy there on the face of Ian Bowyer and his jubilant Forest team. They've beaten Newcastle here by 3-1.
Well, it really was a stirring cup tie and a fine victory then for Nottingham Forest. The more so, I suppose, when you think they might even have been 3 goals down in that amazing first 5 minutes of the tie. But a truly resilient performance then by Brian Clough's team. And as Peter Brackley reminded us, Forest now go through to the fourth round, a home tie against Wimbledon. One other tie escaped the bad weather tonight, the replay between Stoke City and Luton Town. News of that now from Steve Ryder.
Well, it finished in victory for Luton. Stoke City 2, Luton Town 3, the result at the Victoria Ground. And it's Luton who are now at home to Wolves or Huddersfield in the fourth round. Ricky Hill set up the win with an early goal from 25 yards. Mick Harford then added a second. Luton 2 up in 12 minutes. Ian Painter pulled one back for Stoke from the penalty spot, but Mal Donachie got the third for Luton just on the hour. And Mark Chamberlain's goal 6 minutes later wasn't enough to rescue Stoke. Well, one cup tie to beat the Frees last night was the North East Derby, 4th Division Darlington, against Middlesbrough, the winners at home to Telford in the fourth round. The match produced a great result for Darlington, but some ugly headlines as well. Roger Thames reports.
It's been more than a quarter of a century since the fans had to search for a place on the Darlington terraces, as more than 14,000 crammed into Feethams. But Middlesbrough soon showed they were in far more positive mood than on Saturday, when they were often forced to play second fiddle. Darlington's first half chances were more restricted. Gary McDonald failed to direct this header on target. But there was no faulting the Quakers' commitment, with McDonald battling to give Carl Airey the chance to shoot, but O'Hanlon was well positioned. 7 minutes into the second half, though, they forced Borough into fatal error. McAndrew makes a mess of the back pass, Aldred wins it, and Gary McDonald taps the ball in. What a moment for the young striker against the club who gave him a free transfer. Now play opened out, giving both sides chances. Airey's header at the near post was blocked by O'Hanlon. Middlesbrough's attacks, though, gained more than a hint of desperation. David Curry fired one in, but Barber blocked. Then from the corner, Mowbray flicked on, and McAndrew came so close to redeeming his earlier mistake. But with 15 minutes left, another former Borough player punished his old club. Again, the goal was a scrappy affair, with defender Phil Lloyd getting the final touch, but it hardly needed a classic to delight the Quakers. Sadly, though, it was the supporters who then took over events. But at the end, where Borough fans had congregated, spectators spilled onto the pitch. The referee had no option but to take the players off, leaving the police to sort out the hooligan element. In the 10-minute delay, though, inevitably, it wasn't just the mindless minority who suffered the consequences. Once play resumed, it looked as though the break had benefited Middlesbrough, as they immediately pulled a goal back. Heine Otto's post control keeps this move alive, till Tony McAndrew follows up to force the ball in and sentence Darlington to a heart-stopping final 7 minutes. Middlesbrough claimed they should have had a penalty when Otto fell after tangling with Mike Angus, but nothing was going to spoil last night for the Borough Old Boys.
Telford now the opponents for Darlington. Well, staying with soccer, some transfer news today. Wayne Harrison, the 17-year-old Oldham midfield player, has joined Liverpool for a fee of £250,000. Liverpool, however, immediately allowed Harrison to return to Oldham on loan.